Let's all put our back into this. As we know, SIG is a disgrace. In September 2024, the Shoalhaven Independents Group swept into council on a wave of promises and a wave of fake outrage. Paid parking, charging kids to play sport, an old favourite, blaming the last council for cleaning up the messes left by earlier Conservative majorities, including the vote by Patricia White and Bob Proudfoot to give away $15 million in rates. But here's what they don't tell you. More people voted against SIG than for them. Let's have a look at the numbers. Patricia White won the mayoral race with 30,796 votes, but the other two candidates combined got 35,278 votes. So, in essence, more people did not want her as mayor. Now let's look at the wards. In Ward 1, SIG had 9,118 votes and 14,873 went to other candidates. In Ward 2, SIG had 9,787. The others got 13,590. Ward 3, SIG, 10,596. The others, 13,392. So across the city, 29,501 voted for SIG, but 41,855 voted for someone else other than SIG. So that's 59% of the votes choosing other candidates. Now, I'm not debating that SIG won the seats, but the fact is they do not represent the majority of voters in the city. Now, let's look at their record. SIG pledged to fix council finances, but we've still got the deficits. More asset sales and rate rises above inflation at 12%. They gave themselves a bigger pay rise than the staff, so they gave themselves 6%, while the award for staff was 3%. And they even tried to get a free ratepayer funded meal at Bannister's. If it wasn't for the gipper that I put in, they would have got away with that. They promised to fix roads, but the backlog remains the same. Works have been deferred, and after all the years that Patricia's been on council, we've now got a database that tells us how bad the roads are. Wow, what an achievement. They said residents' voices would come first. Well, I know was putting in my petition with 300 signatures that was then tossed out after rantings from the deranged Councillor Kemp, that's just nonsense. Yet they've weakened environmental protections, moved key items to closed sessions, and operate as a rigid voting bloc as a registered party.
Politics, there are three levels of government. We're heading up for local today, and there's a state level and there's a federal level.
Why am I out here handing out for Joe? Because they're the team who are actually going to make a difference for the community.
What's your reaction to Gareth handing out for the independents?
Well, they're not really independents. They like to pretend they are, but they're not.
We're all just helping out.
Why does this matter? Well, democracy isn't just about who wins. It's about representing the whole community. SIG claims total support, but the election numbers prove otherwise. And in fact, they have only a minority of voters in the city. The majority of Shoalhaven voters chose other candidates. That means the minority councillors have a duty to speak up, and so do we. So here's what we can do. Write to all the councillors, ask direct questions and keep a record. And don't be put off because quite often the SIG councillors simply won't reply. So much for listening to voters. Support minority councillors when they stand up to SIG. Personally, I'm tired of seeing the non-SIG councillors sit in the chamber and look defeated. They need to get on their feet. They need to raise questions to staff and they need to communicate direct to ratepayers in line with the freedom of speech obligations set out by the Office of Local Government. We can attend community consultative bodies. Ask questions. If a councillor's there, ask them the hard questions. Contact oversight agencies like the New South Wales Ombudsman or the Office of Local Government or ICAC. Now, don't depend on them to come racing to our rescue. Most often, their view is that it's up to us at election time to vote the council in that we see fit. So this is why it's important for us to stand up when we have the majority of voters against this very bad local government under the SIG party. If you want a council that listens, you have to make your voice heard. More people voted against SIG than for them. Now's the time to speak up for the majority.